Hi, good morning, Sherwood High School, and welcome to today's advisory. This is Mrs. Barton, your friendly college and career specialist. Today's advisory is jam-packed with stuff, so let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, juniors, you should have your pre-ACT student report in front of you. Looks exactly like my sample student here. So what does your scores mean? Well, your scores range between 1, which is the lowest, and 35 is the highest. So just like your grades, your scores tell you how well you did on each test. Your pre-ACT scores should be looked at as a range rather than a precise point. Your pre-ACT score ranges are shown on your student report by the colored boxes on the graph below your scores. The heavy line with the colored boxes is your calculated score with a number next to it. These are ACT's readiness benchmarks. You can compare your score ranges to the benchmark to see if you are on track to be ready for first-year college courses. So we're going to discuss how you can use this information later. And also, if you want a more detailed explanation of each one of these sections in your score report, I would highly suggest going into the counseling office, and they have a full booklet where you can go through it in more detail. We just don't have time to do that in advisory today. And then, of course, if you have any questions, I'm also going to link the website to that booklet. I'm going to put that in Naviance under student resources. So let me tell you about your composite score and how that is figured. That is simply the average of the English, math, reading, and science test scores. In the same way, your overall grade point average in school shows how well you are doing across all of your classes. Your pre-ACT composite score shows how well you did across the entire pre-ACT test. Your STEM score is the average of math and science test scores. This shows how well you did with questions related to science, technology, engineering, and math. Okay, so here we are at the home screen in Naviance, and I want to show you how to get to Test Prep. It is a free test prep resource for the ACT, and you can go ahead and access it by scrolling down to Resources to Get Ready. Click on Naviance Test Prep, and you wait for it to load. And then once the page loads, it'll have you take a diagnostic test in each of the core areas that the ACT tests, and you can go ahead and check these questions out because these questions do come from the ACT database. So you can even select the test date for your next test, which this year in 2019 it will be April 3rd, and then the test prep will automatically customize a study plan based specifically to your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so now we're going to hand it over to James and Jacob, and they're going to do our very first teacher spotlight.
Hi, this is James.
And I'm Jacob.
And we're here to talk with Ms. Erickson about her high school experience. What do you teach here at SHI?
I teach history classes. I teach U.S. History A and B, World War II and the Holocaust, and History through Cinema. And
did you always know you wanted to be a teacher?
I had it narrowed down between something in the science field, maybe like a plant morphologist, or teaching history.
And what college did you go to, and how did you decide?
I went to Willamette University, and that was not my plan originally in high school. I wanted to go somewhere else and do other things, but by my senior year, I kind of changed my mind, and I wanted to pick that university. I liked that it was close, and I liked that it was scholastically challenging, and I could travel abroad with them. They had a really cool travel abroad program, so it's all about the travel.
Mm-hmm. And what were you like in high school?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I was mostly an angel, of course, but I played a lot of sports and did some plays, and I did get moved with some frequency for talking, I'll be honest, but you know, someone had to sit in a different seat.
Do you have any talents?
Well, I can drink an enormous amount of tea, but I don't know if that's a talent. Okay,
Yep.
Perfect, no judgment. So I like to shop for shoes. That's a talent, right? Okay, the girls are saying yes. Okay, perfect.
Were you involved in any clubs? If so, which ones?
So my high school didn't have a lot of clubs, so I think it's amazing that we have so many here, and I would encourage students to get involved in those because it's a really cool opportunity. I did FCA at high school, and otherwise I would have done like the history club we have here, and there's the German language club, and there's all kinds of clubs. So I wish that we could have done more.
That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson, and that's all for this week's Teacher Spotlight.
Stay tuned for next week's Advisory Teacher Spotlight.
Great, thank you, James and Jacob, and we'll look forward to who you're gonna interview for the next advisory class. Okay, everyone, real quick, because I want to give you enough time to finish your assignments for today. So we're logging into Naviance. We're here at the home page. You're going to go over to My Planner and go down to Tasks. You guys have 2 assignments that are due this week. You have the Student Engagement Survey that's due this Friday, and then you also have the SHS Club Survey that is also due this Friday. So for the club survey, I've already practiced with that one and made sure that make sure that when you finish, it's saying that it's marked as complete. Okay, so then what you're going to do is go back here, and we need to look at what else you have assigned to you, and that is this student engagement survey. This you have to do an extra step, so let me show you. I've got the information here under description, what you need to do. So you need to actually copy and paste this and put it into another browser, which I've already done up here, and go ahead and finish this survey. But then you are going to need to go back. You're going to need to go back to your task. And in order to complete this task, you need to take this survey. Okay, so you have to let me know that you have went to this website, okay, and just go ahead and put the date that you finished it, because we'll have to verify that everything is done. So if I took it today for today's advisory, put in the date, and then go ahead and just submit the answers and click OK. All right, so again, what you can do is, if you want to check and make sure that everything's done, go to Task. When I'm scrolling down in here, it says Tasks you need to work on. Well, guess what? I don't have anything assigned to me, so I'm good to go. That's it for today's advisory lesson. So until next advisory, have a great day, Sherwood High School.